In the shadowy waters of the late 17th century, the name Captain William Kidd echoed with both reverence and fear. A pirate turned privateer, Kidd sailed the high seas in search of fortune, adventure, and ultimately infamy. His legend, however, did not end on the open ocean. It continued to grow, entwined with whispers of a hidden treasure that defied time. The year was 1699. Captain Kidd, after a career marred by accusations of piracy, had turned his sights inland. His fleet, weather-beaten and weary, sailed up the Connecticut River, seeking refuge and concealment. The goal was simple, yet shrouded in mystery: to find a secluded place to bury the enormous fortune amassed from countless plunder vessels. Stories passed down claim that Kidd and his crew, a band of ruthless yet loyal men, arrived near Clarke's Island in Northfield, Massachusetts. The landscape was untouched, dense with forest, and bordered by the quiet murmur of the river. Pine Meadow, at the upper end of the island, became the site of intrigue. But Kidd's plan was more than just burial. It was a ritual. According to ancient lore, the crew drew lots to determine who would give the ultimate sacrifice. One of their own would be killed, the body laid upon the chest of gold, forever entwined with the treasure itself, which man met his fate in silence. No one knows. The darkness of history swallows the name. Only the legend remains. The legend of Captain Kidd's treasure is not merely about wealth. It is steeped in arcane rites and unspoken oaths. To retrieve the treasure, one must follow a specific set of rules that twist reason into superstition. First, the moon must be full, hanging directly overhead, its pale light illuminating the sacred ground. Second, exactly 3 people must form a perfect triangle around the precise spot, an ancient arrangement designed to focus energy and intent. Silence is paramount. Not a single word may be spoken. No laughter, no sighs, not even a whisper of hope or doubt. Should the charm break, the earth will remain sealed, forever hiding the chest beneath layers of time. This was no ordinary superstition. The rules were etched into every tale, repeated through generations, warning treasure hunters of peril. Why such complexity? Some say Kidd sought to protect his treasure from thieves. Others claim he was cursed, doomed to hide his wealth forever. Regardless, those who attempt the ritual do so with both hope and dread, never knowing if they are guided by fact or folly. On a cold autumn night in the late 1800s, a group of local adventurers gathered near Clarke's Island. The full moon hung high and bright, bathing the ancient forest in a spectral glow. Led by Thomas Temple, a man driven by obsession, the trio prepared for their silent excavation. His companions, Sheldon and Carter, were both experienced treasure seekers, each well-versed in the lore that surrounded Captain Kidd. Their movements were deliberate, rehearsed. Each step was measured, every sound muffled by heavy gloves and quiet resolve. They formed a perfect triangle, precisely as the legend dictated. Thomas's eyes burned with an intensity bordering madness. Sheldon's expression was stoic, determined. Carter, the youngest, betrayed a nervous tremor in his hands. Hours passed. The silence weighed heavier with each scoop of earth removed. The wind whispered ancient secrets through the trees. Shadows danced unnaturally. Time seemed suspended. Then, the shovel struck something solid, but as the metal blade scraped the surface, an unexpected sound, a faint sigh, escaped Carter's lips. The ground trembled, the moon flickered, the air grew cold. Their breath became visible in the chilling air. Panic set in. They froze, realizing their mistake. The charm was broken. The solid surface beneath them remained, impervious to further excavation. Defeated, they retreated, their hopes buried along with their whispered regret. In the present day, the legend of Captain Kidd's treasure remains one of the most tantalizing unsolved mysteries in America. Among the modern seekers is Eleanor Grant, a determined archaeologist in her early 30s. Unlike many who search for gold, her mission was to uncover the truth buried in history. Eleanor's fascination began when she discovered an old, tattered journal in a Massachusetts archive. The journal, penned by a descendant of one of Kidd's crew, hinted at Clarke's Island being the key to the treasure's location. With a small team of experts, Eleanor returned to the site. The same rules applied. Full moon, perfect triangle, absolute silence. Her team advanced carefully, metal detectors scanning ground, drones mapping the terrain, and infrared cameras watching every shadow. Each night, as the moon climbed higher, the air grew colder, the atmosphere thicker, as if the island itself held its breath. Her resolve was ironclad, even as superstitions whispered doubts in her mind. The world watched, captivated by the possibility that history itself could be rewritten. On the seventh night of their expedition, the team's patience finally bore fruit. A subtle change in the ground, a faint indentation, appeared just as Eleanor's metal detector emitted a low, persistent beat. They circled the spot carefully, their formation perfect, their silence unwavering. As the first shovel cut into the earth, a gasp remained unsaid but palpable in the air. Beneath layers of time, a chest, old, weathered, and unmistakably ancient, emerged. Its surface bore the marks of centuries, etched with salt, soil, and secrecy. Inside, the team uncovered relics of unimaginable historical significance. Gold coins minted in the late 1600s, intricately designed pistols, a captain's log detailing voyages and plunder, and the remains of personal items once belonging to Captain Kidd's crew. Eleanor's hands trembled as she carefully extracted each piece, documenting every detail. Her eyes sparkled with triumph, but also a strange sadness, recognition that history held as many curses as it did secrets. Yet, the air remained heavy. The wind whispered louder now, as though mourning the disturbed legacy. News of the discovery reverberated around the world. Scholars celebrated, skeptics scoffed, and treasure hunters renewed their pursuits elsewhere. But for Eleanor Grant and her team, the revelation was bittersweet. The story of Captain Kidd was not just one of greed or adventure. It was a tale of darkness, sacrifice, and secrecy. The ritual, the curse, the unspeakable silence, all had led to this moment of revelation. Today, the chest and its contents are displayed in a dedicated museum exhibit, labeled The Legacy of Captain Kidd's Treasure. Yet, Clarke's island remains shrouded in mystery. Visitors tread lightly, whispering rumors of strange lights, cold spots, and shadows that seem to watch without eyes. For some, the greatest treasure is the story itself, a reminder that some secrets are buried not to be unearthed, but to endure in silence. Because in the end, the legend is eternal, and the treasure is not merely gold. It is a haunting legacy of a man who dared to defy history itself.